everyone, Tom here. Do you like a how-to guide when you're doing something or completing a task? If you saw the listening time earlier in this service, you might think, wow, the TLC staff obviously have a how-to guide about professionally recording Zoom calls or looking good on camera. Well, I need to tell you that there is no how-to guide to any of those things. In fact, there's no how-to guide to most things that we've all done over the last 5 months. I'll give you an example. I'm currently propping up my laptop on a bread bin. And here's the proof that our listening time earlier really didn't have a how-to guide, with some outtakes.
Let me just tweak my picture so I get away from the fire alarm. Lovely.
Hold on a second.
Look at Claire.
Bless him.
So, do you have any idea how we can stop that?
My computer is unstable, or connection is unstable.
It won't allow us to mute.
Okay.
Hi there, Graham and Judy can't get to the phone at the moment.
I can't find the phone.
He has an important job for all of us, and he has a purpose. And that's my dog.
There's an important purpose for my dog.
Oh gosh! You'll always know when you watch this. Chaos.
2 weeks ago, we were inspired by Pastor David. Philippians 2 verse 1. This is us. We're united with Christ, the comfort of his love. We share the spirit and tenderness and compassion. And then last week, we were encouraged by Pastor Susan. Philippians 2 verse 2. Unity, not uniformity. We're like-minded, who have the same love. We're one in spirit and of one mind. So if verse 1 is if this is who you are, and verse 2 is the be like this, verses 3 and 4 are this is how you do it. Let's read together. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of others. This is how we do it. 4 ideas from this passage. Number 1, we flee selfishness and vanity. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Selfish ambition is motivation to put your own interests before others. And vain conceit is when you have an elevated or an incorrect view of yourself. So if we look everywhere, we see it everywhere. Look around. Stockpiling an item that everybody needs, but we decide we need all of it. Being so concerned about 50% off our food that we would disregard all advice and forsake all others to get our bargain. Or putting a volatile shipment into storage, passing the buck to someone else and hoping that we won't have to be the one who deals with it one day. But it's not just in the big things. We can easily slip into selfish ambition and vain conceit in the everyday things of life. We can easily think of I when struggle hits. Here's an example. This company has gone into administration, threatening X thousand number of jobs. Oh no, that's where I get my favourite socks from. You get the idea. And we can also shape our everyday actions in a way that makes us look good. Think about that. We can live our lives trying to frame ourselves in the best possible way. But even though this is the way that maybe we're naturally wired to think about us, I believe we can be supernaturally rewired. And this is how we do it. Let your ambitions be pure, not selfish. And let yourself have a healthy image of who you are. Nothing vain, nothing distorted, knowing who you are and whose you are. And therefore, out of that, your words and your actions and your decisions, they're flowing from something that is pure and something that is healthy and something that is lovely. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. You could flip that around and say, do everything out of pure ambition and a healthy image of who you are. This is how we do it. You ready? Number 2, embrace humility. Rather, in humility. Humility is laying down your pride. To be truly humble is to truly lower yourself. And if we look around, we see it everywhere. Look around at married couples laying down their plans and their elaborate ideas and preparations and details for the sake of a simple and incredibly powerful declaration of commitment to one another. Wow. Or how about this story I heard this week? Receiving grades that weren't expected, someone made the decision to still pursue a goal, a career goal, in a different, unexpected and a humble way. It'll take longer, but they'll get there in the end. To react with humility in all things, even in the face of perceived injustice, is a powerful thing. But it's not just in the big things. We can show humility in the smallest things, the everyday things. When you see adversity, choose to react with a prayer. God, help me see this situation as you do. Help me see this right. Don't react with a rant straight away. Lay down your ambition for the sake of the gospel, for the sake of Jesus. Choose to love and honour those around you. Let your question be, how are you? And actually really want to know how they are. And then here's the humble bit. When they ask you back, be humble enough to be truly honest. Can I tell you today, church, if you're not doing well right now, and you really can't answer that question, how are you, without breaking down in tears. None of us are perfect, but we would love to help reconnect you to a God who really is. Just reach out this week. So this is how we do it. Here's an image for you, something to inspire you. Think of a palm branch. You know, Jesus entering Jerusalem, waving the branches. Let it be that your life is only ever waved and prominent when you are saying Hosanna to the King of Kings, when you're praising him. And be ready at any moment to be laid on the ground for the sake of others. Rather in humility. This is how we do it. Number 3, value others. Value others above yourselves. This is completely about self-esteem and how you see yourself. Let it be that out of a revelation of your own worth through the eyes of Christ, that you truly begin to see the worth of your brother and sister, those around you. Ascribe to others the value with which you know Jesus sees in you and everybody. What would you save in a fire? Well, I'm sure your answer, whatever it is something that is of value to you, something of personal value. For me, it's an easy choice. Here he is. I'm joking, of course. There are many swoops in the world. But it's something that's of personal value to you. And if you look around, you see it everywhere. People valuing others above themselves. Think of a parent laying down your career push to care for your children when schools have been closed. Or we think of a teacher walking and delivering food to thousands of children when schools are closed so they don't go hungry. And we see it on a wider scale with every teacher and head teacher preparing for their school's return, laying down their worries and their classroom logistic struggles and safety precautions for the good of the children that will be impacted in a lifelong way by their care, education and nurture. Can I just say, teachers, thank you. You can value others in the smallest and seemingly insignificant ways. Come on, I can't tell you how to show value to those around you. You know what makes them tick. You know the things they love. You know the things that those you care for thrive upon. So show them their worth this week. Value others above yourselves. This is how we do it. And here we are. Number 4, gain interest. Not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of others. We long to gain interest in others, and we also know that at the same time that our investment in others always gains interest. You see what I mean? God sees everything you do, and everything you do has a benefit, not just for the person you do it for, but the interest you'll receive, because God sees every motive, is exponential. It really is a win-win. Look around our world and you'll see it everywhere if you look close enough. We see it in community nurses, travelling just like the one I saw the other day, travelling to the homes of those in medical need who cannot travel at this time. We see it in the staff and volunteers of charities like Open Hands, who, when everything else is shut down, will come into a warehouse and continue to serve and honour those in real need at a time when they need it most. And how about this? A story that's been told for hundreds of years that was pointed out to me by someone in our church last week. It's the story of the people of Eyam in Derbyshire. This quaint village, the Great Plague in 1665 arrived on its doorstep to a tailor as they looked at some clothing samples, and them and their assistant and their families caught the plague and sadly died. The people of the village had a decision of what to do next. They were the most northern village that had seen the plague enter its ranks, and they decided that they would line stones around its perimeter and they would isolate themselves, a real quarantine. And to this day, still those stones stand on its perimeter as a testament to the sacrifice of the people of that quaint village. Just think, those people of Eyam, not thinking of their own interests, but thinking of the interests of others, with green plaques on their doors commemorating those who died for the sake of the many who survived. So, this is how we do it. How do we truly show who we are, and how do we really display unity to the rest of the world? We flee selfishness and we flee vanity. We embrace humility. We value others and we gain interest. This is how we do it. But more than that, as we read in verses 5 to 11, we're given an example. Not just, if this is us, be like this is how you do it, but this is Jesus. This is who he is, and this is how he did it. And I'm so grateful that today, the question is not simply, will you flee selfishness and vanity, be humble, value others and gain interest? In fact, the question to all of us is this: will you follow in Jesus' footsteps? This is how we do it.